Welcome, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's video. And today I wanted to talk about something good and positive. So I decided to talk about happiness. Who doesn't want to be happy? I bet everyone. But it seems to me that these days, even pre-pandemic days, a rare person have it. We are all desperately looking for an advice, for a course, or simply just a pill to make us feel better, be happier, and enjoy our lives and forget about all the struggles. Do you remember how happy you used to be when you were young? And now what is left? Just memories or occasional happy days. But it feels like your life is more like black canvas with white spots popping up here and there rather than having it in reverse. And you wonder, what is it that you lack? What makes you unhappy? And you probably think of all the unpleasant stuff that is in your life, like nasty boss or just the job itself. Maybe it's your body image or financial situation. It could be health or relationships. So many things can go wrong. How can you be happy, you ask yourself? Those extra pounds or kilograms, if only I could lose them, or if only I could move out of this unpleasant neighborhood, or if only someone cleaned my house and did all of my homework. But then you lose those pounds and kilograms, or you move out of a bad neighborhood to a better place, or maybe you finally have a clean house and are out of school. And at first you might feel happy, but then it fades. Other stuff creeps in, and here we are again, starting all over. For some people, their happiness after achieving their dream disappears almost instantly. We don't even stop to celebrate our achievements. All we do is just mark it accomplished, maybe enjoy it for a day, have a drink, and then switch to the next faraway goal. So was it really something that could make you happy? Well, apparently it wasn't. And I want to argue here that even though we all want to be happier, not many of us are actually trying to be happier. If there's anything you take away from this video, I want you to take away this. The happiness doesn't come from the outside. It's the product of our internal work. I would sometimes catch myself thinking, oh no, I need to cook dinner again. Oh why? Or, oh my goodness, I spent so many hours watching YouTube, wasted so much time, haven't finished my daily goals, such a horrible day. Surprisingly, when I'm happy, none of that comes to my mind. Instead, I'd be excited about cooking something tasty and feel really great that I'm fortunate enough to be able to spend that much time binging on YouTube. Very different approach, isn't it? I chose to see either negative or positive. And at times, I'm honestly flabbergasted how cruel I am to myself by choosing to ruminate on something that leads to negativity. How I often take things for granted. There's so much to be grateful for, to be happy about. How unrealistically demanding I can be towards my work. How harshly I can talk to myself. I would never do this to my friend, but for some reason I do it to myself without blinking. So, if you can see the pattern, it's not the circumstances that make us feel unhappy or happy, it's our interpretation, our attitude. So here are some tips and exercises that can help you actively work on becoming happier. But I gotta warn you first, shift in our mindsets happen over time. Imagine how many years it took you to build that habit of choosing bad over good, and now we need to reverse it. So this is gonna take some time and effort, but it's definitely worth it. First, the most important part, you actually have to start noticing those bad seeds in your mind. They can look very innocent at first, but the next moment you realize you slipped into some horrific self-judgment or started again predicting some doom in the future that probably won't even happen, or regretting for the 50th time how in the past you said something awful to your boss even though right now you can't change any of this. Being able to notice these little seeds of negativity will allow you to stop them and not slip into self-judgment and negativity. Another helpful thing that you can do is whenever you're having a good time, whenever you achieve some success or something wonderful happens, appreciate this moment. Something brought a smile on your face, a happy moment. Take time to soak it in, bathe in it. Too often in our fast-paced lives, we just quickly discard everything, including good things, but instead we actually choose to chew over and over something bad that happened in the morning. It's what you pay attention to, what matters, so don't forget to celebrate those good moments and try to do it for as long as you can. Another thing that can help you is to stay away from judging others and yourself. If something unpleasant happened and there is a lesson to learn it, but don't start thinking and evaluating. Forget about coulds and shoulds. Past is in the past. We cannot change it, but you surely can spoil your present by mulling over your past mistakes or bad moments. The next tip. Sometimes you just need to fake it to cheer yourself up. Even when you don't see the reason to be happy. More often than not, there will never be a reason to be happy. You'll have to be your own reason. Another great way to lift your mood is helping others. You can pay for an extra cup of coffee for someone else who doesn't have enough money to afford it, or simply for a person next in line, or smile to another person and they will smile back at you, and both of you will have a better day. And how about gratitude? This one is proven to turn off your sulking and switch your brain into a more positive mode. There is always something to be grateful for. Can't think of anything? Well, how about you have your legs to walk on? Maybe you have a roof above your head and a cozy place to sleep. Did you have a nice cookie for breakfast? Do you have a good friend? Or maybe good relationships with your sister? Maybe you went for a walk and met and petted a cute corgi today. Find something to be grateful for and it will surely make you happier. One other thing that we often do when we're searching for happiness or pleasure, we're going and trying to consume media as much as possible. We go on the internet and we scroll through social media or we binge watch TV shows. Whatever it is, we just try and consume as much as possible of content in hopes of lifting our mood. But instead what we are doing, we're actually depleting our dopamine reserves. And then, like junkies, we're looking for more and more content, and all of it makes us very unhappy. We did everything in reverse. Apparently, what actually makes you happy is creating content. Being a creator, making something yourself is a proven way to be happier and more fulfilled in this life. So instead of binging on content, try and create something yourself. You don't need to put it on the internet. You don't need to show it to anyone. Maybe you can invent a new recipe. Maybe you create a piece of art. Maybe you write a poem. It doesn't really matter, as long as you're expressing yourself. And the last thing, there is no other way to be intentional about being happy than to act on it. Be it, if your life circumstances are not great, it makes it harder for you to be happy, so you will end up either being unhappy or decide to do the hard work. Trying to change your unfortunate circumstances to something that serves you better, to something that brings you happiness. So set up your intentions and mindset ruthlessly every day and it will bring results. Do in your life what you want to do, what makes you feel happy. If you keep compromising your life, you will never be happy. If you accept a job just because it pays well, but you hate the job itself, this is not a way to happiness. If you're supporting relationships with a toxic person just because of some social norms, this is also not going to serve you well. Find what's really you, what's in your heart, and follow that instead of what the world outside tries to tell you. And the last but not least, since we're talking about living a happy life, I couldn't not mention the philosophy that became quite popular lately, even though it's a very old philosophy, and that is Stoicism. It's all about how to live a good, fulfilling, happier life by curbing your consumerism hunger and by looking at our lives through a different lens, by having better values. I would highly recommend looking into it to anyone who's interested in getting out of contemporary epidemic of misery. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of a big topic to cover it in this video, but there is plenty of information on the internet about that, and maybe I will do a video about that in the future too. And on this note, I would like to end this video. So don't forget that your happiness is shaped by you, and that is good news.